Hey everybody.
Hello.
So, how many people practice everyday carry? In some form or fashion. For those that don't, I actually looked it up. If you go to Wikipedia, it defines it as a small collection of tools, equipment, and supplies that are carried on a daily basis to assist in tackling situations ranging from mundane to the disastrous. Now, I agree with that and I disagree with that. It's a good one if you actually Google everyday carry. Holy shit. You're going to find such a wide variety of how people interpret what that means. I look at prepping in one way. So you can take a 4-foot ladder. It's got a bunch of rungs. And if you stand in front of the ladder on the floor, you're flat-footed. And that's how most of the time we get caught. Criminals and events find the victims, and there you are with the deer in the headlights. So if you're standing flat-footed, that's where it comes from. Now, if you step up on the first rung, that's EDC. That's your everyday carry. And that is only designed to do short term. And here's where I would separate from the rule of threes. Because EDC is only it's a stopgap measure. It's like, for those of you who carry a firearm, the only reason we carry a pistol is to get to a long gun. The only reason we carry a knife is to get to the pistol. It all accelerates. EDC is designed, for me, 1 hour. That's all it's designed for. It's for me to get to this bag, which is my possibles get home bag. This will last me a day. So if you look at the ladder, I've stepped up on the first rung, there's my EDC. Next rung, possibles get home. And from there, I just step it up. If you go on the net and you actually look at everyday carry, guys have ladders that are 32 feet tall. They have a bag for everything that you could possibly think of. I have a potty bag. Oh, good. And a lot of guys, if you look at EDC, it's very stylish. I have this beautiful titanium wallet, and it is $185, and it's part of my EDC. What possible function does it? I pull what hair I have left out, just trying to figure out how they do that. No, I mean, there are uses for things, but again, as I've always said, prepping is personal, and especially with EDC, it has to fit your lifestyle. If you're retired, you can do a lot of things. If you're still working, you're gonna get limited. The important fact about EDC is that you carry those items every day and every way that you can. So you may have a whole list of items, and I don't know how many of you carry concealed. I'm one of those. I carry concealed every place that I possibly can. And I ignore the laws, I ignore the signs on the front of businesses, I go right through the door. I don't care. The fact is, if I'm working, when I get to my place of business, that all changes, because they have the right to say you can't carry a firearm. So I'm EDC up to that parking lot. I secure my weapon, I go to work, I come home, I rearm, and I go on my daily business. But the other items that you're going to carry, you need to carry all the time. If I'm working out and I'm planning in one of the hoop houses, I still have my EDC on me. It's still part of me. I exchange a couple of different things, but it's still that same basic kit, and I carry it every single day. You're going to find that if you look online, you're going to find some EDCs where they have extrapolated that into a little kit. Well, this is my EDC kit. Again, there's another rung on that ladder. Are you going to carry that little kit with you every day and every place that you go? No, it's going to stay in your car. The thing that I'm worried about, and the example that I give, let's say we're all at the Mall of America, 9 o'clock at night, middle of winter, tornado 20 miles north hits, takes the power out. You know it's not coming back on. So the only thing that you have is dark, dark, and more dark, along with a whole shitload of panic. The only lighting that you're going to have at the Mall of America is what's designed to last about 30 minutes, depending on your code. A lot of it is not maintained, so a bunch of it isn't going to work. So for me, all I need my EDC to do at that particular point is get from me to the vehicle, because that's where this is. And once I'm here, I'm golden. This is a one day. This is 24 hours for me. And I'm going to cover this back next meeting. But it's a stopgap measure. So if you're going to put your kit together, think about those things that you would carry. And having a onesie, it's fine. Because all it is that first 60 minutes. I get to this, I got 3 ways to make fire in here. I have 3 different flashlights in here. Now, I'm much better equipped to handle it in a variety of ways. So, I put a little list together, and one of them is a small flashlight. And I carry one all the time. This little guy right here. It's a single cell 1, 2, 3. You can find 80 million. Just Google small flashlights, and you'll find a lot of single cell lights like this. It's halogen, it's very, very bright. I forget how many lumens this is. It's not cheap, but I have dropped this in everything that you can think of, stepped on it, lost it, found it. It has a little bit of a bezel. I can actually use this as a defensive weapon. And I actually have batteries I can recharge for this. So this is a great light for a stopgap measure. So that I carry all the time. Next thing I always carry is a lighter. Pink, my favorite color.
Nobody's gonna steal
It's actually the only one I have left. Big lighters are probably the most reliable. If you get the disposables, don't buy the cheapest thing that you can get, because those are made on a production line and probably 70% of them will fail. These just don't fail. I can tell if it's got fluid, I can check it, make sure that it still works, back in my pocket. Now, let's take the Mall of America example. Am I going to use this? No. But I might be in a different situation that I might actually use this. Pocket knife. Don't leave home without it. You need something in your pocket. This to me stays with me all the time. There's other ways to do it. This is another. That's a neck knife, and you don't even know that I'm wearing it. This is also convertible. I can use this as a boot knife. So I could actually take this off, clip it on the inside of my boot, and you wouldn't know I was carrying it either. You've seen these. This one I actually made. 550 cord. I've got enough cordage here. If I needed to make something, somebody fell down in the Mall of America, one of my kids, and I can grab a couple of different cardboard deals and I can put it on and their legs hurt. I can use this to make a makeshift quick splint, pick them up and carry them out of the building. So where you wouldn't think you might have a cordage, cordage is one of those things that you almost never can't use. The other things that you're going to carry is my watch. Now, I ran out of the house because we had 2 feet of snow on the ground. I forgot to put my watch on. But a watch, you've got to have one. You're probably going to have your cell phone. Today's phones do so much. Those apps are just another part of everyday carry. All of those apps are like having another item that's actually on your person. You can look at the weather. You've got linked to sheriff department. You can get alerts. You can get all kinds of things on a phone that are going to help you determine what you're going to do next. Emergency cash. I always carry emergency cash. We always have a $100 bill in our wallet. You just never know when where you're going to need it. It's always a good idea. Maybe you take that 100 and you break it into 3 20s, a couple 10s, 5s, and some 1s. That way, if you get to someone, they don't have to make cash. But sometimes cash is king on the road. If you need a gallon of gas, in bad times, they're going to charge you 3 times what the oil company thought they were going to charge you. Credit, ATM card, make sure you have those. If you've got them, your wallet carries a whole bunch of stuff. You've got your identification. Also, if you've got medic alert, make sure you have that bracelet. You have that chain around your neck. Handkerchief, always a great thing to carry. You can use it for a variety of things, not just a tourniquet. If you've got smoke in the building, put across your face, damp it, put across your face, help with the smoke inhalation. Just a lot of different things you can do with it. You've got your keys. So your keychain, I don't have mine, it's over there. Your keychain, then you can add a couple little items to that. Now, I know for a fact Jerry carries a hell of a lot more for EDC than I do. But again, it's personal. Jerry's very comfortable with his keychain that weighs about, what, 45 pounds? And that's another item. That's a P3 or a P6 opener?
P51.
51.
Hold it up, Jerry.
A 51, that's another good one. You have that can opener, and I have one on mine. That'll open up just about any can that you want.
Whistle.
Whistle.
Hey, Vic, here's my wife's keychain. It's a weapon.
Oh my God. So you don't need a firearm, you just throw it out.
Yeah, I know.
Just start swinging.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I carry all the time, and I carry a standard multi-tool. This is always with me. I have repaired things off trucks in the middle of nowhere by finding some baling wire someone left and was able to climb under a truck and fix it. This one happens to be the Leatherman Wave. There's a million of them out there. Buy something that's quality. You know, you're gonna have a knife and a saw and a screwdriver and a nail file and make her put her on her upper rudder, I don't know. A lot of good stuff, and that, like I say, that's with me all the time. When I'm carrying a firearm, I always carry a firearm, and I generally have a spare magazine. But some places you can't carry. You can't carry in your doctor's office. I did once, and my doctor didn't approve of that. And then a handcuff key is something that I've never carried, but we're going to start carrying discreetly. You never know when it's going to come in handy. It may not be the good guys that you need to get away from. It may be some bad guys. And if they're not smart enough to check you, then
How do you get a handcuff?
what's that?
How do you get a handcuff?
Ordered online. Actually, if you order them from Amazon, you can find them. They come in a 5-pack. And you can buy the really nice ones. I used to have one when I was with San Diego PD. I had a really nice one. It was about that long. Lots of grip if you got gloves on. It was really easy to work with. Had a good set tool on the back to lock the handcuffs so they can't get smaller. Great tool. Bigger than I want to carry for EDC, so I won't, that to me is out. I want a little handcuff key that I can hide someplace, put someplace and have on. So another thought, I ran across one of these. This is called Survival Pod. They make a million of them like this, and here's 550 cord. This could be your keychain fob. Inside it, it's got flint, paracord, a knife, tape, tinder, sheath, and a ring. All for a mere $15. So if this is what you choose, it's another option. This is my paracord, but this has a lot of little things in it. Another good thing to carry. This weighs nothing, takes up no room. But if you're at the mall and you're on your way out and a woman and her child, she fell down and she's cut her arm, you can now protect yourself from bloodborne pathogens. Slip these on real quick and you can help her a little bit. So another good thing to have. This is an N95 mask. It's made by 3M. It also has an exhalation port. It folds absolutely flat, so you can put this in just about anything that you want. And what happens is when you do it, you pull it open and it cups open and fits over your face. Very nice fit. I actually bought these at 10 to a box. And like I said, just slip them in your pack. If you're one of those that maybe likes to carry a fanny pack and that's going to have some of your EDC, you could put that in here as well. So for those who want something that's less than lethal, and I think if we're carrying lethal at times, we need to have something that's less than lethal, and I think we also have to have medical equipment, and this bag does have it, to help that person once you've had to take defensive action. I think in a lot of situations you owe that to the person. They were stupid enough to think you were a mark, but now you need to try to help them, and that's, I think, just the other part of it. So if you want something less than lethal, pepper spray is an excellent thought. This happens to be Cold Steel Inferno. It's one of the finest peppers on the market. This thing is extremely hot. And there are people that you will spray with this that will go, and they keep coming. But if you've tried this and they keep coming, then you go to this. But for a lot of people, this is going to put them down. This is going to have them running around screaming like little children, like we did when we got CS training. Still remember that. Another good option. Defensive, I'll just quickly say tasers. Very big, very bulky, probably harder to make sure you employ than a firearm at times. So not on my list, but this is another good choice. So I touched on 550 cord, and one of the things that I found is that 550 cord is great. It's nice and soft when it's on your arm. So this cord right here is probably my cord of choice. If I had any cord and I wanted to carry a little bit, this is fine on my wrist. This is comfortable. This won't be as comfortable. But this is bank line, and I've started using it on all tenting, any kind of cordage I need in the field. It's very inexpensive compared to 550 cord. And if you want to take a bit of this and you want to spool it up and put that as part of your EDC, then you have some other cordage. And this is, like I say, it's very, very cheap. You have kind of adopted this, Jerry, as a cord.
Yep.
And I think it's phenomenal. I mean, if you want to take a look at it. We use it for everything, but it's another good thing to have a piece of cordage. You can just tie this into a little bundle, stick it in your pocket.
Where do you find that?
You can find this on Amazon as well. There's Sergeant,
Now you're talking about,
I can't think of his name, Sergeant something or other. Anyway, if you go on Amazon and just Google bank line,
B-A-N-K?
B-A-N-K, go on bank line, and this stuff will come up. And I think you like it in the heavier,
I do a 42.
the 42. And I think the 42 is actually rated at something like 400 pounds. It's amazing. 550 is that, 550 pounds. So this is, how much, like 12 bucks?
I got a 500-foot roll for 15 bucks.
Yeah, I mean, you know what this costs? Anyway, if you want to, this is just excellent line to use. Some people will put together little kits about this size. And this is kind of expanding on the EDC, but if you're going to do this, are you going to carry this every day? You're going to stick this in your hip pocket? Because the minute you get in the truck and you sit in the truck and you go, oh shit, and you pull it back out because it just gouged you, you're not going to carry it. So to me, this on EDC, this is not an option, unless maybe you're carrying a fanny pack. The only other thing I can say about a couple other items, these are towels. Both of these are towels. Add a little bit of water, and these things go full-size towels. Really nice if you just want to carry one in your pocket. I'm going to touch on a couple other things. Small compasses, you see them, they're real trendy. You put them on a watch and that, they're not very accurate. Almost every small compass has an error that's just checking in. You probably. I would not rely on them, so I don't even use them. There's some flat multi-tools. Don't think if I brought one. I did not. There's a flat multi-tool, and it's about so big, and it has a lot of little different things you can do for nuts and bolts and screws, and those are kind of handy, but you have to see if that fits in with what you're going to use. You can get real small fire starters. Again, I just stick with a lighter. I don't anticipate needing a lighter. I anticipate getting to this bag. There's all kinds of special wallets and water bottles and stuff that you can use. It's going to be more what fits your lifestyle, what makes sense to you. How are you gonna do those steps on the ladder? And when you do those steps on the ladder, you know, how many bags do you want to have? How simple? I'm a KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, because I use as little technology as I need to. I know a lot of it, but I don't rely on it. And, so this is that little tool. It's really small, but it has a lot of different openings. You could do all kinds of things with it. It's got a cutting edge. It's got a screwdriver edge. Yeah, here's another one, Tool Logic. These are real handy, you can drop them in, but again, I want you to think about this. How are you going to carry this? Where are you going to carry this on your person? Because this only works if you carry it every day. So whatever you carry, be prepared to carry it every day. So think about that. That's all I really have on EDC. I'll talk real briefly because all of us were kind of talking about our 72-hour kits. We actually have, Lisa has a 72-hour kit that's in her car, which also contained in it is a pack that she can, if she needs to, pack all that in and carry it away. She also carries her Possibles bag. We each have one. And my 72-hour kit is a little bit different in that I'm an emergency operator for Aries, so if there's ever an emergency, I'll be called upon to go to a location. So I'm expected to go to a location for no less than 36 hours alone and be completely self-sufficient. So I have a luggable loo, which is my restroom that's always with me. I carry a tent. All of my gear is in 3 of those containers, except for my clothing bag, which is a separate nylon bag. And I do that because it reminds me to rotate my clothes every fall and spring. So I'll take my real heavy stuff out and I'll go to a midweight. And I'm kind of always adjusting that clothing bag because it doesn't make sense to have all that in summer when what I really need was stuff to just cover me from the sun. So we separate it that way. So my kit that's in the truck is in there all the time. We keep it in our vehicles because my philosophy is if the house burns down, the vehicles aren't. If I'm going to go somewhere and escape, I'm going to get in my vehicle and leave. It's already there. I don't have to do anything. If she's in the bay teaching and something happens and she can't get back to me, she's good for 3 days, plus with this. So she can take care of herself. If we're in different areas, we know I don't have to worry about her as much. I'm going to make contact, but I don't have to worry about her. She's okay. So I've chosen my steps on that ladder that fit my lifestyle. Everyone's going to do that their own way. But that's kind of just how I employ it. So that's all I really have.